Tonight, Donald Trump's entire empire is at risk. A judge finding him liable for fraud and allegedly deceiving banks, loaners, and customers for more than a decade. And there's a campaign refrain from the past that takes on some new meaning in the wake of all of these rulings.
If we could run our country the way I've run my company, we would have a country that you would be so proud of.
If you do run, do you subscribe to the notion that the government can and should be run like a business?
Well, it certainly should, but a business with heart, because I'm a big believer in heart.
You'd run America like a business.
I would run it properly, and I'd also run it with heart. A lot of people don't understand that. I would run it with heart.
A business with heart may be a side of deception, according to this judge. I want to bring in now former Manhattan prosecutor Jeremy Saland, as well as pollster Lee Carter and president of the Masalinsky Partners, and Russ Buettner, the investigative reporter for the New York Times. Lee, as you can see there, he framed his whole career, his whole political ethos on the kind of business that he ran. And this judge is basically saying it was a fraud.
Well, I think the thing that's so fascinating, right, is people are going to see this and they're going to say, this is the end of Trump. How are people still going to support him? And I don't think that's what's going to happen. Trump supporters are going to see this, and I think there's more people out to get Trump. They're going to look, everybody's talking about the $18.5 million evaluation on Mar-a-Lago and saying that's ridiculous. It's not 18.5, it's $70 million or $100 million or whatever they're saying. So they're saying that this is really more evidence that people are out to get Trump, and this isn't necessarily truth. Now, if you're on the other side of this, you look at it and say, finally, people are saying exactly what we knew along. Trump is a fraud. But I don't think this is really going to change anybody's mind in the long run. Yeah, I mean, it may very well not. There are so many things about Trump in real life that contradict the image he portrays. There will also be potentially $250 million in damages at stake here for Trump. Is it possible that this could really do damage to Trump and his actual businesses?
It does seem possible. You know, we acquired his income tax returns for about 20 years worth. And there was no evidence in there that he had that kind of cash. In fact, his cash seemed to be dwindling through the middle teens. His money from entertainment, from The Apprentice, and from licensing deals really dropped off. And he had a lot of businesses that were losing money that he had to pump money into to sort of keep them going every year. So that could be a hit. He has assets he could sell. But one of the interesting things about this is that that's not going to be his choice, it doesn't sound like. These entities that are being put into receivership represent almost everything he owns. And if someone else is going to be deciding who can take money out of that, how much money they can take out of, and making sure there's going to be maybe $250 million left whenever this case finally winds it down, that's going to greatly restrict what he's able to do and his impact on things.
That's incredible to even think about, Jeremy. I mean, they're going to appeal no matter what happens here. Do you think they have grounds to put a stop to a ruling that seems like it could really gut Trump and everything that he has ever built?
You know, I think this is a very bold move by the judge to do what he did at this stage in the process, meaning not only do we have a summary judgment on a matter that is really captivating the entire country and has significant ramifications well beyond Donald Trump, but at the same time, he's also saying, I'm going to freeze, if not freeze, I'm going to cancel your ability to continue business and your business certifications, which, as we just said moments ago, is going to destroy potentially his career and his ability to earn a living and his ability for his businesses to operate. So they're going to do what's called an interlocutory appeal, and if it has not started already, go to the appellate division and try to get a stay so that this case does not continue, as we know, into Monday.
Lee, you may remember Hillary Clinton tried to make a case about this.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, she called out Trump for 6 bankruptcies in the debate. I mean, I remember covering her, and they were sort of lifting up the stories of all the people that he had, grifted over the years, failed to pay. Even they raised the specter of these valuations being not real. None of that mattered back in 2016. So Can this become an issue in 2024 if he's on the ballot?
I have a hard time seeing how, because it's almost like opposite day when you look at Donald Trump. Whatever you expect to happen, the opposite happens. And the way I try to describe this, it's almost like that picture that you see, where if you look at the picture, you either see an old woman or a beautiful young woman, depending on what you see. And I think if you're a Trump supporter, you look at this and you see this is a witch hunt. You see Trump's huge success and think that it's all somebody trying to take it away from him. If you look at him and you hate him, you see the fraud, you see the deception, you see the bankruptcies, you see all of those other things. But it doesn't really change anybody's mind. What ends up happening is you still just are ingrained in what you see. And what's happening, I think that's really fascinating, is Trump's support continues to increase. The more this stuff happens, the more people are digging their heels in and say this seems so unfair.
So Russ, before we go, Mar-a-Lago, how much is that thing really worth? Eric Trump says it is $1 billion. Trump says it's hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, what could the truth possibly be here? And at the end of the day, should their tax bill be higher?
Their property tax bill? Yeah. I think actually the problem is that he gave away the right to make that any more valuable years ago. He promised, he gave away all right to develop it for anything other than a club. And that's a very restrictive thing that greatly limits its value. Someone can't come in and put in 30 houses on the beach there, or even one big, massive house. And if you run it as a business, it doesn't really work. He's pulled out, according to his tax returns, about $2 million a year. It's actually one of his more successful businesses.
But that's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money. You think about if you buy that thing for $1 billion and you take out an $800 million mortgage, your mortgage payments are $60 million a year, and you're making $2 million in profit. That sounds like a really not smart deal. And I think that's why the judge looked at this. Their assessment was based on no evidence, and he said this is just an unsubstantiated dream, and that's kind of what it sounds like.
Do those statements about the value of this property, doesn't that make the New York AG's case?
Absolutely, and unfortunately for Trump, and I think one of the most outstanding things that he did that harmed himself, you have a 10,000 square foot apartment, 11,000 square foot apartment, and says that that's a 30,000 square foot apartment for the purpose of valuation. There's so many things that Donald Trump has done, not just here, but throughout the history or career, we'll call it, of Donald Trump, where it's far worse than foot in the mouth. It's the constant saying and doing things that hurt himself. Whether someone can reel that back in, I don't know, but this is why he is where he is.
All right, Jeremy, Lee, and Russ, thank you all very much.